Okay.
All right, so now it's my turn. Thank you for that lovely toast to the Lassies. They say a man falls in love through his eyes and a woman through her ears. That eloquently describes the man we're celebrating tonight, does it not? Robert Burns penned hundreds of songs and poems, many of which were either written to or about women. I was supposed to be introduced as Elizabeth tonight, and there's a reason for that. After all, it is quite a historical name, and if you think through history, take a moment, think of all of the women who have been named Elizabeth, from biblical times, where my name came from, my mother chose, up to the current day. There was even some discussion at our table earlier about the name Elizabeth and who was called what. But my dear friend Liz Patronella is also named Elizabeth. And most people think when they first meet us that we're sisters. And so I'm like, seriously? Sisters, and we're both named Elizabeth. Okay, I'll play along because we've done this kind of shtick before. She was born first, she got Liz, I was born next, I got Beth, and together we're Lizbeth. All right. Now hang on to that for just a moment. Because good old Rabbi, he loved equality for women, right? We've already heard that tonight. Every good-looking woman had an equal opportunity to hop into bed with him. He was everything that we love to hate in a man, but he did love us women, right? But however, like any male, he decided to make it easy on himself. He named 3 of his daughters, you guessed it, Elizabeth. The easy part was that they were all from different mothers. Now, this was thought of as his affection towards the name itself, right? And here's a verse of a poem that he wrote for Elizabeth Peyton, a servant girl who worked in the Burns household and the mother of his first child, a girl named Elizabeth. You got it. So here's the verse. My girl, she's airy, she's buxom and gay. Her breath is as sweet as the blossoms in May. A touch of her lips ravishes quite. She's good-natured, good-humored and free. She dances, she glances, she smiles with a glee. Well, for a man who had such a way with words, he was at a loss for inspiration when it came to naming his daughters. I mean, seriously, 3 of them named Elizabeth. Could he have been any less creative? But speaking of creativity, ladies, I have something for you. You remember the chain letter days back when AOL was king and we were all getting all the chain letters? One of them looked promising, so I kept it. So let me read it to you right now. This letter was started by a woman like you in the hope of bringing relief to other tired and discontented women. Just bundle up your husband or boyfriend and send him to the woman whose name appears at the top of the list. Then add your name to the bottom of the list and send a copy of this letter to 5 of your women friends who are equally discontented. When your name comes to the top of the list, you will receive 3,125 men. At least one of them has to be better than the one you bundled up and sent up. 3,100 plus men? I mean, we have enough dealing with the one, right? But more than 3,100? Okay, here's an example of me trying to deal with the one man. My husband and I stopped buying gifts for each other years ago because he could never think of what to give me for any gift-giving occasion, no matter what it was. Our anniversary is in December, rather close to Christmas. And so a few years back, he surprised me on the morning of our anniversary by coming out with this big gift bag. And I looked at him like, seriously? We weren't doing gifts. And he just blurted out, happy anniversary. And so I'm looking at him again, and he says, well, an important anniversary number deserves an important gift. And I looked at him and said, what's so important about 29 years? He says, it's not 29, it's 30. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's 29. You see where this is going, right? This is a man who can whip up Excel spreadsheets with complicated mathematical formulas that do everything in all the cells and columns and rows and everything, but yet he can't remember our anniversary date or well, he remembered the date, but he couldn't remember how many years. And for the record, we're at 37 years now. So, gift or no gift, it's still hanging in there. But you might ask, what's the secret of that long marriage? Ladies, listen in, I'll tell you. Separate bedrooms. Even better if they're in a separate house. Seriously though, we do take time to go out on a date at least once a week, a dinner, movie, a play. He goes on Tuesdays and I go on Fridays. However, this week it's Saturday because I'm here. But in all jest, I'm going to close with a few quick quotes. Ladies, this is kind of some participation here. What's the quickest way to a man's heart? We've always been told this. It's through his chest. Oh, stomach.
Straight through the ribs.
Stomach, chest, it's through the chest. Straight through. There you go. Beware of the man who praises women's liberation. He's about to quit his job. If the world were a logical place, men would be riding side saddle. Think about it.
Think about it.
Okay, and finally, from Mae West, and I love this one. A woman has got to love a bad man once or twice in her life to be thankful for a good one. I'll leave it to each one of us here to decide into which camp our dear brother resided. So ladies, charge your glasses. Stand with me, ladies. To the laddies. To the laddies. And thank you. I'm going to turn the program back over.